There's a story that I read about you that I absolutely love. The one place growing up that you knew you just could not play football was the house, right?
Yeah.
But on a particular day, you and then friend Donald Chappelle decided to break the rules a little bit. What happened?
We was kids and just doing what kids do when, being disobedient sometimes. My mom said don't play football in the house, and I think we had been watching a football game, and so like always, we have to react what happened in the football game, and we got to doing it in the house, and we ended up breaking something. Well, he ran home, and my mom woke up, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you had the marks to show you got in a little bit of trouble, but he said still to this day he's amazed by the loyalty you showed because he was the one that broke the lamp, I guess. He bolted, and when your mom came down, you didn't sell him out.
Yeah. Yeah, ultimately I felt like it was my fault because, I shouldn't have been doing it anyway. He even though he physically did it, it was my job. That was my house, and so it was actually my fault for doing it in the house.
Something else that I read that was interesting, while you attended TCU, you were arrested and you were accused of being in possession of marijuana, and after you were released, you maintained your innocence, but it wasn't enough for you that your head coach believed you. What did you do?
He drug tested me, right away. And, I told him, I said, Coach, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time around, some guys or whatever.
And you wanted that drug test.
Yeah, I wanted it. I said, you can drug test me right now, and I'll pass it. He said, well, that's what I'm going to do. Because it was his first year coming in. He didn't know what type of kid I was. I could have been lying to him, but I absolutely told him I wasn't doing anything, and so he drug tested me, and when it came back, he said, you were right. The system, it was clean, and I told you, I said, Coach, I told you I wasn't doing anything. He said, well, let this be a lesson to you. You gotta always, and my mother used to tell me that you always gotta watch who you're around. Everybody is not your friend, even though you think they are. They're not your friend, and when something happens, they're going to look out for themselves. And so that was a situation where I took that I learned from. And Coach Fran told me the same thing, the exact same thing my mother told me. And so I'm glad that that type of situation I had to learn from and didn't get any more trouble.
You were in an environment growing up where in many cases it was easy to make bad decisions, and some of your friends from early on made those. What's it like when you receive a letter from one of them from prison?
It's hard. It's probably one of the hardest things that a friend has to go through. Hearing from, a fellow friend about the things that they're going through right now. And so, the thing that I always try to do is just kind of encourage them, try to, make them feel better if that's even possible. But they're in a place that's so low and dark at that time that, it's really hard to comfort them. But it's very hard to deal with.
What do the letters say?
Well, most of them are usually about things they've learned over the years, and if they would have did this, things would have been different, and they just wish that they can start all over again. It's really a lot of wishes and hopes, for the future and for things that they wish they can change in their life.
You've maintained, obviously, your good name, your trouble-free background. That's always been very important to you. You look at a Michael Vick, a Tank Johnson, a Pac-Man Jones, some of the Cincinnati Bengals players. These are individuals that have gotten in trouble with the law and because of that made the league look bad. What do you think of that?
I think there's always, in any company or organization, there's always individuals that happen to get in trouble. With the National Football League, obviously the ones that get in trouble is a lot more publicized. and so people are more aware of what's going on. And so, you know, though it happens everywhere, it's unfortunate because it makes the NFL look, you know, like a lot of the guys in the NFL are troublemakers and get in trouble a lot. And that's not the case. There are a bunch of guys that are great guys doing so much for their community and their families that, you know, just a few things that happen get overshadowed, you know, with that. And so, I think everybody's entitled to make a mistake. You know, who am I to judge anybody? I'm not God, you know, so I just hope them guys can, you know, one day bounce back and do something positive.